A house inspired by Frank Lloyd Wright just hit the market in Michigan, and this house is awesome. A deal in New York just closed for $135 million, and another house in Florida just hit the market for $135 million. And Bad Bunny's old apartment in Manhattan finally sold after a bunch of price drops. Today, let's check out some of my favorite real estate deals from the last couple weeks. There is an architecturally significant modernist treehouse for sale in Silver Lake. That's a mouthful, but seriously, this house is amazing. Let's check it out. Kind of crazy that we're starting with this one because I think this might be my favorite house on the list today, and it's also the cheapest, but we are in Los Angeles, California, $2.35 million, which I think is a steal. It is small though. It's only a 2-bedroom and it's only got about 1,400 square feet. Little backstory before we start looking at the photos. So this place is called the Garduno Heiser House. It was built in 1960. And these two, Garduno and Heiser, were classmates at the USC School of Architecture in the late 50s. They were kind of strapped for cash when they first started this project. So one of the guys sold his 1950s Corvette to raise capital for the construction. I guess over the years, the place started to deteriorate a little bit. So in 2015, the current owners went through a restoration. Let's check this place out. What an epic cover shot, and it's no wonder they needed to use so much steel. The house is literally hanging off the hillside. Yeah, like check out that cantilever. This is insane. I guess this is another downside though to living in this house is you gotta park your car down here and hike up like 3 flights of stairs even to get inside. When you do climb up those stairs though, it's pretty cool. Everything's exposed, so you can see exactly how the structure of this house was made. I love how this house is just like really mellow and understated, but then they have these bright yellow railings, and check it out. The next photo, it has us on like the 4th or 5th step, so imagine standing right here and looking back out at the house, so check it out. That is the house and view that you're looking at when you're approaching your front door. Not a huge living room, but we kind of expected that. I mean, you don't need a lot of space when you got views like this, right? The kitchen's got those little 1x1 square tiles for countertops. I've actually never seen that before. I used to live in a house that had like, they were probably like 3x3 baby blue square tiles for countertops. I thought that was cool. This is even cooler. Little dining room off the kitchen. Ooh, the views at night are just as good as they are during the day with that Malm fireplace lit up. You got this nice little private patio and soaking tub off your master bedroom. That's not bad. Bedroom number 2 also looks like it comes with its own patio. Oh, funky wall tile in here, but I love it. After that, they just kind of rounded out with more like designer shots, I guess, that are just looking at the house from different angles. This is a trophy property in my mind. I honestly cannot even imagine why the owners want to sell. Maybe they've just outlived the house and they're ready to pass along to someone else. I mean, this is not an ideal place to live if you're like 80 years old with all these stairs that you need to climb, but awesome property, and I hope it ends up with an owner who appreciates it and loves it and respects it and just keeps it looking just like this. Now, I know that I'm not the only one who binge watched Ryan Serhant's new show on Netflix, Owning Manhattan, and one of the penthouses from that show has finally just sold. So it's called the Jardim Residence, or that's what they were calling it on the show anyway. This is the one where it was the girl Chloe and the other agent, can't remember his name, but Ryan had the two of them go head to head to kind of fight for whoever got this listing, and Chloe ended up winning the listing. She put it up for sale for $19.95 million. They were not able to hook a buyer though, and spoiler alert, if you didn't see the show, they ended up renting it out to Bad Bunny. He paid $150,000 per month for this place. It's a 4-bedroom, 5-bathroom, 4,500 square foot apartment with an indoor swimming pool. And the place honestly is really well done. It was one of my favorite apartments from the entire show. Tons of natural light. The architect slash designer who did this place just knocked it out of the park. The kitchen has this mix of like oak and stainless steel. You don't see stainless steel in residential kitchens very often, but when people do it right, it is awesome. Nice sized master bedroom, huge master bathroom, at least for New York standards. You've got a window and a view of something from basically every room in this house. And then this spiral staircase, I think, takes you up to the rooftop. This is where your swimming pool is and your private terrace. Okay, this is actually insane. A 5-story penthouse in New York just sold for $135 million. And the craziest part is, this is the most expensive penthouse that has sold this year. Not ever, just this year. Unfortunately, there's no photos of this unit, but it's a 12,500 square foot apartment. The wildest part though here is that this unit was sold in unfinished form. It's really hard to imagine having that much money and patience where you can cough up $135 million for an apartment that's basically not even built yet. We don't have any photos of the exact unit that was sold, but the building does have a website, and they describe the building here as Manhattan's iconic Crown Building is reimagined as Aman, New York, where the city's original architectural splendor and Aman's harmonious design language collide. Whatever that means. Over here on the residences tab, unfortunately, still not a whole lot to see, you guys. They're keeping this very hush-hush, I guess. Like we said, there's only gonna be 22 apartments total in here, so it's gonna be a very exclusive community for sure. Of course, we got high-end interior finish packages throughout. I would hope so. They say there's integrated security and telecommunications systems, up to 3 fireplaces, Gaggenau kitchen appliances, and demisting mirrors. Never even heard of those before. But yeah, no other interior photos or any other information. I guess if you're an interested buyer, you gotta just fill out this form and they'll call you. So no photos of the $135 million New York penthouse, but we have another $135 million listing, this one in Florida, and it does come with photos. Let's check it out. So this place is very different than what we were just looking at. It is a 13 bedroom, 18 bathroom, 12,000 square foot home with 180 feet of water frontage. They're really talking up the land here. I guess what the owner did is they combined 2 parcels, which was 4 acres, to build this estate, but they also have another 7 adjoining parcels, it sounds like, which are also included in the sale of this home. This is a super cool feature. Never seen this before. It reminds me of Maui. The property comes with a 100-year-old banyan tree, like right in the middle of the lot. A very cool water feature. Could you imagine having this like in your backyard? They went a little heavy on the Photoshop, but cool feature. Look in the other direction, you're looking right out the water in your boat dock, and I didn't realize this, you guys, sorry, but they're not giving us any more photos of this one either. So when you get up in these higher price points, sometimes they like to keep the photos, at least of the interior, really private, because what they're thinking about is if someone buys this house at some point, that person might not want a bunch of photos of the inside of their house out there on the internet. So yeah, I guess that's all we're gonna get for these $135 million houses. Now you guys know that anytime Frank Lloyd Wright's name comes up in the news, I've got to talk about it. A mansion in Michigan just came up for sale for $13 million. It wasn't designed by Frank Lloyd Wright, but it was definitely inspired by him. So this one has got 4 bedrooms, 9 bathrooms, and 13,000 square feet. Kind of random cover shot for the listing, but I'm not gonna lie, as a guy who lives in the desert, this is pretty epic. You don't see anything like this in Arizona. Behind those gates, you've got this long winding driveway that takes you up to the house. That driveway takes you down to a little motor court and a 4-car garage. Entrance definitely has those Frank Lloyd Wright vibes. A lot of wood, a lot of stone, a lot of trees casting shadows. And check it out, when you walk through the front door, you actually have lower ceilings. We've talked about this in the past. This is something that Frank Lloyd Wright does. This called, I think, compression and release, where you walk into a space and the ceilings are lower and then it opens up into like usually a bigger great room or something. So we got multiple levels in this house, a lot of stone and wood on the walls. I don't see much drywall at all. Big cool fireplace here in the living room. Lots of glass, of course. Oh, this is neat. So this corner wall of windows here reminds me of Falling Water, which I visited in Pennsylvania probably like 10 years ago or something. But at that Falling Water, there was no air conditioning, and so there were these corner windows that opened up, and it kind of brought a nice breeze through the house. Yeah, there's stairs like all throughout this house. I don't love that. I was not expecting this in a Frank Lloyd Wright inspired house, but we've got another stainless steel countertop in the kitchen. Oh, that's crazy. The stair treads are even metal too. Looks like they might also be stainless steel. That'd be expensive, but maybe. As I tab through some more of these photos, you guys, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit underwhelmed. This place was built in 2000, so it's not like it was built in the Frank Lloyd Wright era. It was just built by probably a descendant of his or someone who was very inspired by him. Like, Frank Lloyd Wright houses are meant to look old and kind of dated to some people, but this house, to me anyway, just looks dated in the wrong ways. Like, dated in a way of it needs a remodel. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode today, and I'm just gonna say it, I'm getting over being sick, so sorry that you had to hear me struggle a little bit through today's episode, but If you did enjoy it, make sure you hit the like button down below before you go. Make sure you hit subscribe before you go as well. We're posting new videos on this series every 2 weeks, plus Estate Media is posting a bunch of other really amazing real estate content on the channel. Tons of other shows you can check out like Rise Above the Ranks, Glenda's Guru, Laughs and Listings. That's a wrap for this one. I'll see you guys next time.